Howdy, y'all. It's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle, helping you pass the NASM-CPT.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Megan.
Now, if you want to become a successful personal trainer, you may need a certification. NASM-CPT 6th or 7th edition, we've helped over 1,400 people pass. If you want the textbook, you can get it, but you don't need it. She passed it in 7 days with our study guide. Our intent is to get you through this as fast as you can because this is what you want. You want to become a successful personal trainer. This sucker has some gold nuggets. I'm going to put it down nice and lightly over there. If you're not familiar with Show Up Fitness, we teach personal trainers. San Diego, she's an instructor here. We got Los Angeles as well as Santa Monica, but we're online. We have people in Turkey. We have Spain. We have Ireland. Everywhere in the world. You can show up, live sessions, but also recorded. Today, we're going to talk about vocab NASM that you're going to see on the exam. Number one, reciprocal inhibition. Think about math. The reciprocal is the opposite. So I'm sitting down right now. Sagittal plane of motion, triple flexion. Psoas is tight due to flexion. So it's decreasing the neural drive to the gluteus maximus. The sucker isn't working as much. So the fact it's not working as much, what happens?
Well, when that happens, you're going to have synergist dominus. And that means when your glutes aren't working, that your hamstrings are going to help you when you get up.
3, autogenic inhibition. What is that?
Autogenic inhibition. When you see that term, think Golgi tendon, GTO. It's going to be tension. So what you want to do with that is you're going to want to foam roll that calf, SMR, Seth myofascial release, basically sending a message to the brain to calm it down.
20, 30 seconds. Everything. Foam roll, stretch, or die. It's a fact of life. Do not, and I repeat, do not foam roll your clients for 5 to 10 minutes. If they're paying you $100 plus per session, it's $150 here in La Jolla, they're gonna be like, what the hell did I just sign up for? 20 minutes of foam rolling? It's not gonna get the results they want, but don't worry about that for now. Just get through the test. Relative flexibility. It's the body's way of taking the path of least resistance. So again, psoas taking over. That's number one, altered reciprocal inhibition. The opposite muscle isn't working very well. That's the glutes. So when I stand up, relative flexibility is taking the path of least resistance, whereas I should be engaging at the hip, my glutes, at the knee, my quads. That's going to be optimal movement mechanics. You're going to see something on arthrokinetic dysfunction. Essentially, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 put together. Number 5, hypertension. Hyper, above tension of the heart. Cardiac tissue. We have 3 tissues of the body. Cardiac, smooth, which is like your gut and organs, and then we have our skeletal muscle. Everything that's on top of skelly right here. 650 plus muscles in the human body. How many bones we got?
206.
There we go. Axial, appendicular. Basic unit is the osteon. Don't worry about it. It's good stuff to know if you want to be a successful trainer. The 17 muscles around the shoulder, damn right. They're not going to question you on that. They're going to stick to these vocab words. They're going to stick to the overactive, underactive stuff that you're going to see 196 in chapter 7 for the 6th edition. And then for the 7th edition, you have 392. So hypertension is high blood pressure. 140 over 90. And so what we want to do, make sure we don't hold our breath. That's the Valsalva maneuver. You can see a question on that. So you want to breathe through it. We have the concentric, you breathe through. Eccentric, nice and slow. For the 7th edition, what's our concentric, eccentric for phase 1?
The phase 1 is going to be 4-2-1-1. It's going to be your tempo.
First one is the eccentric, bicep 4, isometric, you're going to hold for 2, concentric for 1. Hypertension, you'll probably see a question about that. Your client comes in, they have hypertension. Which of the following would be hypertension? 120 over 80, that's normal. 125 over 85. That's not great, but it's better. 129 over 89, still not great, but it's not hypertension. 140 on the top number, which is systolic, bottom number is diastolic, 90, that's hypertension. What's our planes of motion, Megan?
Planes of motion, there's going to be 3 of them. Sagittal, flexion and extension. Frontal, abduction, adduction, and lastly transverse, any rotation.
You may see a question like BMI. They like to ask the question about normal range, so 18.5 to 24.9. 25 to 29.9 is overweight, 30 and above is obese. At what point do our clients become more prone to diabetes and hypertension? Typically it's around 25, which is being overweight. Don't confuse BMI, body mass index, with body fat percentage. Totally different. People like to knock the BMI. It's terrible. It's fine. We're a fat ass nation. 80% of Americans are overweight. It's not just because of fast food or because of the way we're not moving. It's a multifactorial issue. We cover all that and we get really deep into what we call the body mass equation. So we talk about calories in and calories out, stress, hormones, hydration, genetics, environmental factors. There's a lot that goes into it. So when you're sitting in front of us in those live Zoom calls, you can ask questions. When was the last time you asked the test book a question? Let's see real quickly. I don't know what self-myofascial release is. Who could I call? You're going to type it into the Google machine. I'm going to mess up these books sooner or later. But the great thing about being in front of professionals that have been doing it for 16 plus years, own 3 gyms, written 2 books, I'm not patting myself on the back, kind of am, but you should be able to ask people that have been doing what you want to do. So here's the thing with the NASM-CPT. Get through it ASAP, 30 days. If you want some tutoring help, boom! What's your Instagram?
Active, ACT7VE.
Show Up Fitness Internship. Check us out on Instagram. Send us a DM. I'll send you a free link to one of the live classes. They're Tuesday nights, 5 p.m. California time. The 7 words you need to know. Altered reciprocal inhibition. Write it down, flashcard it. Synergistic dominant. Autogenic inhibition. Relative flexibility. Hypertension. BMI. Planes of motion. Know these 2 pages. If it's the 6th edition, 196, 7th edition, 392, you will pass it. I absolutely 100% know you will. And if you don't, who gives a shit? Take it again. You'll pass it the next time. Our intent is to help you become a great trainer. Most importantly, you guys hear that? You hear that? You got to listen to the trainer with the big bicep. Woo! Keep showing up.